Today we're comparing the Galaxy S24 Plus versus the Pixel 8 Pro to see which one is the better option. I feel like this one might be closer than most people think. So let's go ahead and get started. As far as the price goes, the Pixel 8 Pro starts at $799 in the United States versus $999 for the S24 Plus, so about $200 more for Samsung. You also get a little better storage options with the S24 Plus as far as the base model goes at 256 versus 128 gigabytes for the Pixel. They both have a 6.7-inch display, but on Samsung you've got a dynamic AMOLED display with 1440 by 3088 resolution versus an OLED display on the Pixel 8 Pro with 1344 by 2992 resolution. Both go up to 120 Hz refresh rate, but surprisingly the Pixel 8 Pro screen looks a little bit brighter, has a little bit better viewing angles versus the S24 Plus, at least by default. If you go into the settings and turn extra brightness on for the S24 Plus, then it's fairly close. You can also see the Pixel 8 Pro is just a tad taller, even though they have the same size screen. If you're wondering which one is heavier, the Pixel 8 Pro weighs a little bit more at 212 grams, where the S24 Plus is 198. Style-wise, the Pixel phone is also a little more rounded around the edges, where the S24 Plus is a little more boxy on the edges. Feels very similar to holding an iPhone. One advantage you have for the S24 Plus is going to be the battery life. It lasted over 16 hours in my battery drain test versus about 10 for the Pixel 8 Pro. You also get wireless charging on both, but you've got 30-watt wired charging for the Pixel versus 45 for Samsung. So if you want the phone with better battery life and faster charging, you'll probably want to go with Samsung. As far as software goes, these two are currently on Android 14, and I believe these are two of the first few phones that have 7 years of software updates, something you normally don't see with not only Android, but iPhones as well. They do have some things in common, but mostly is going to be personal preference on which one has the better software. For me, these two are probably my two favorite phones that I've used recently, and I don't think you can go wrong with either one. Samsung does have a couple advantages though. For instance, it has Samsung DeX, and it's got video out, so you can connect this to an external monitor or TV with an HDMI adapter. I'm not quite sure why Google doesn't put video out on their phones. Both also have similar AI features, the circle to search, object eraser, that type of stuff. Also with the S24 Plus, it's just got a little bit better fingerprint scanner. Seems a little more reliable than what you get on the Pixel. Performance-wise, both have 12 gigabytes of RAM. You've got the Tensor G3 processor in the Pixel phone, but of course with Samsung being the newer phone, using the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, it's got quite a bit better scores in Geekbench testing. It's somewhat close in single core scores, but other than that, it's pretty one-sided here with Samsung having the better performance. But to me, the performance feels like a flagship phone, regardless of which one you go with. But if you want the phone with better performance and better gaming performance, you'll want to go with the Galaxy S24 Plus. Speaker quality is actually pretty close on these two. Probably going to come down to personal preference. I might lean slightly towards the Pixel 8 Pro, but just by a tad. So you really can't go wrong with either when it comes to the speakers. Here's a quick sample of each just to give you an idea of what they sound like. When it comes to cameras, I'm not sure if there's going to be that many phones out there that have better quality cameras than these two. You've got a main 50 megapixel wide angle lens on the back of both phones, and then a little higher resolution now on the Pixel phone with 48 megapixel ultra wide and a 48 megapixel telephoto lens on the back of the Pixel 8 Pro versus a 12 megapixel ultra wide and 10 megapixel telephoto on the S24 Plus. So probably a slight advantage with the Pixel 8 Pro. You've also got a 12 megapixel megapixel front-facing camera on the S24 Plus versus 10.5 megapixel on the front for the Pixel 8 Pro. A little higher resolution for video recording with 8K at 30 frames per second for the S24 Plus versus 4K at 60 frames per second for the Pixel 8 Pro. So again, probably going to be personal preference on which one has the better cameras. I feel like the Pixel might have the slight advantage when it comes to photos, but it's sort of a toss-up on which one is better at video, in my opinion. But here's a quick sample of each just to give you an idea of what to expect. So hopefully this gave you a little closer look at these two phones. Like I said earlier, these are two of my favorite phones that I've used recently. So if you told me I could only use one of these for the next 7 years, it would be a pretty tough decision for me. I might lean slightly towards Samsung just because of the faster charging, better battery life, and it's got video out that I like to use once in a while. But overall, I don't think you can go wrong with either one. I'll probably do some more comparisons with both of these phones, and of course a lot of tablet videos coming up as well. So you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.